It's been a while, hasn't it? Eden Mall is still open. Today, we'll return to the Eden Mall to see if anything has changed. Has it improved or has it worsened? Let's step inside and find out. The canned music is actually quite deafening in this mall, and I am fairly certain that me and two fellow dead maulers were the only ones in the mall corridors for the vast majority of the time. While we tour, let's recap upon the mall's history. Eden Mall's life began in 1980 with Belk Klein, Kmart, and Globman's, a regional chain based out of Martinsville, Virginia. While the corridors themselves would be quite Spartan and basic, Eden Mall would be chock full of distinctive and unique storefronts. In fact, I am certain that this mall may be 100% original architecture from day one. However, already it should have been apparent that Eden Mall was a mistake. Several odds were stacked up against the mall. First, Eden was composed of only 15,000 residents, and that number has not really changed. In addition, you had multiple towns within an hour or so of Eden that already had at least one mall. The now gone Liberty Fair Mall in Martinsville, Virginia, the Piedmont Mall in Danville, Virginia, Penrose Mall in Reidsville, North Carolina, and then Greensboro, North Carolina with the Friendly Center, Carolina Circle Mall, and Four Seasons Town Center. Already, the mall was facing issues in the early 1990s as vacancies began to climb. National chains were practically fleeing from the mall. Globman's would be the first anchor to close. Although it is a serious issue to lose an anchor, this went mostly overlooked as Peebles quickly filled in the void for a brief period. The much bigger problem came in 1994 when Kmart shut its doors. Eden Mall faded into obscurity with just Belk at the helm. In 2008, Peebles would have relocated closer to a shopping center near Walmart, which was, and still kind of is, the big thing in town. However, many small businesses had begun to move into the Eden Mall over the late 90s and the early 2000s, and this would have saved it from the building boom of the 2000s that took away many struggling malls at the time. This ultimately would prove futile for the Eden Mall, as those businesses left too, and Belk would fall into disrepair as well. The entire mall seemed to be just stuck in a bubble. The former Globman's and Peebles would now become a center for community events. The mall was, and still is, operating at a bare minimum, with just enough upkeep to keep the roof from caving in and to keep the lights on. Some would describe this mall as a scene from the movie I Am Legend. – 2013 and 2014 would see an attempted reinvention of the mall, as a man by the name of Jonathan Wise would purchase the mall and open up part of it as a flea market. The goal seemed relatively simple, and this would help breathe some new life into the mall. However, in 2016, Belk would shut its doors for the last time, the company deciding to cut any further losses in Eden, North Carolina. The Belk space is filled in today with an antique mall. In addition, a gym and a locally run apparel shop operate inside the mall space. As a visitor in 2017, I distinctly remember an honest attempt being made at this mall to keep it alive, and tried to speak positively about its fortunes. But even then, it was in bad shape with roof leaks all over, accompanied by dead or flickering lights. I distinctly remember getting some decent food at a restaurant that appears to be now gone. If there's any comparison I can make about this mall between 2017 and now, the roof leaks have gotten even worse, and occupancy has dwindled even further. Remaining tenants appear to be using the employee back doors as entrances to their spaces, and whoever owns the former Kmart appears to be using the space as a storage. In addition, odd items are just kept around inside the mall, including an old piano in the center court, a treadmill near the Belk court, and a number of kitchen appliances in some former inline spaces, and a large number of items just kept without any care in the Kmart space. The mall has reportedly been auctioned off in 2019, to whom I am uncertain of. Raw and Real Retail, whom accompanied me to this mall, had the chance to speak with management. And while we didn't get much info, we did notice a few details that we won't disclose. The three of us are under agreement that this mall is just one event away from closing with little warning. Beyond Sky City, there is not much information available on this mall. News about Eden Mall seems to be just in a black hole, and the newspaper archives are no help either. It leaves this mall being quite a mysterious place, if you ask me. Well, as we leave, it appears that Eden Mall's condition has only deteriorated further. There is no telling when this place is going to close, and I had already fallen for one of the fake-outs back in early 2018. I do hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. Do pass a like or dislike, comment about what you liked or didn't like, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. And do give Raw and Real Retail's channel a look if you want to see their tour of the mall. Until next time, this is Doomie Grunt, wishing you and the Eden Mall farewell.